Okay, so this video, I wanted to make a short and condensed version of the live I did the other night about Shanda getting married. And I have a little thing about Paul from the files that I ordered. So it's going to kind of cut right in into the live. So I'm going to start out by talking about how Shanda VanderArk is changing her point or changed her point of contact to this Frederick Noble. So it's going to cut right in. But it's the person that you'll see that she's going to supposedly marry. So here it is. Please change my emergency contact. So this is showing where she wants to change it. So this was April. Please change my emergency contact to Frederick Noble. Her person used to be Ashley. Ashley used to be her point of contact who got all of her stuff and stuff. The only person outside of jail that was going to give her the time of the day. So Ashley was an old friend of Shauna's from law school they met. But Ashley isn't her girlfriend. So in a little bit, when I start talking about Shonda's girlfriend, that's somebody totally different. Ashley was an old college friend of hers. Her girlfriend is somebody that they met by this girl contacting her after she was already arrested and befriending her while Shonda was in jail by reaching out to her. So it's two different things. Just want to make sure as we go forward, you understand that it's not the same person. And then her emergency contact, it changes to Frederick. This is who she's marrying right here. At least at this time, she's trying to get permission to marry Frederick and they need her birth certificate. She changes her person of contact to this Frederick Noble. 520, same thing we saw where she ends up changing it to Frederick. And then this is from July 10th, 2024. In response to your kite to the record office does not make copies of file documents at prisoner request. We are not able to provide you with copies of your birth certificate. So that's what I don't know. Did she get it? Because that's what she needs for her to get married, right? It said, if you have further questions regarding the marriage process, I recommend communicating with the WHEV chaplain via kite. The chaplain may be able to advise you further. Thank you. To whom it may concern, Shanda Margaret VanderArk has permission to marry Frederick Noble. Her prison ID number is blah, blah, blah. Birth date, she is currently divorced. Chaplain, tell us. So he's given her permission on August 10th, 2024 to marry this Frederick Noble. As you can see, she sends this to Frederick Noble. So this is dated 8/26/24. So just last August. And it says, please have my birth certificate sent to Frederick Noble. And it says, in order to purchase a marriage license. Criteria for inmate application. And if either person's applying for a marriage license is incarcerated at the time of application, this office will require the following: a letter from the prison warden, chaplain, which she does. That was the letter from the chaplain right there, dated within 60 days of application, along with all the following information: full legal name of inmate, confinement prison ID number, date of birth, current marital status. Applicant must bring inmate's birth certificate with letter. The letter must have the original signature and title of the person supplying the information. This letter must be hand carried to the office at the time of the application. Anyway, so here's a picture. Like I said, I say 95% this is the right Frederick Noble. Okay, I'm not 100%. So if it ends up not being just, he's 60 years old. He's a little bit older than her, a lot older. He's like 15 years older than her. He's in a band. I think he's still in the band. He was in a band. I don't know if he still plays. I don't think they're still play, but he was in a band. He played the drums. So I don't know. That's Frederick Noble. He actually has a GoFundMe, which I kind of feel bad for the guy because here's his GoFundMe. Paul Westover is the one organizing. So it says, hi, my name is Paul. I'm fundraising on behalf of my coworker, Frederick Fritz Noble, a kind, funny, and big-hearted 60-year-old who's facing some tough challenges and could use a helping hand. Because somebody had brought up, wonder if he's using Shanda. That was one of the big things after I did a little research into him. Not that I'm saying this guy's a bad guy, but he's had a hard time. He filed bankruptcy not that long ago. So it's like, wonder, because we know Shanda has that trust. She's not going to be able to touch it or anything. She inherited money and she was getting like so much every month, but does she still get that? Because maybe if she gets that could go to the restitution. I don't know how that works, but she inherited it. I think wait, did her sister say that there's stipulations that if you got arrested like that and had a felony or something that you couldn't get it or something? have to go back and watch her interview, you guys. I interviewed Shanda's sister, if you want to check it out, last year. But I don't know. Otherwise, what would he be? How could he be using her? Unless if he saw my video or whatever and saw that she does have an inheritance, but I still don't think that she is able to get it. I'm trying to remember everything I talked to Shauna's sister about, if it does seem like she is going to be able to get it. And I'm pretty sure she said no because she's got arrested, so that she wouldn't. But otherwise, I guess I don't know what he would get from her. But anyway, let's read this here. So it says he's faced some tough challenges and can use a helping hand. Fritz is on the verge of starting dialysis as he battles serious kidney issues. Despite his health struggles, he's continued to work and do everything he can to stay independent. But now the car he relies on to get to work is on its last legs, and repairs are expected to cost around $3,000. He still owes money on the vehicle, and without it, he risks losing not only his job but also access to vital medical care. Fritz is a lifelong animal lover who shares his home with Ollie, his beloved cat, and a constant companion. He's also a huge sports fan and a former recreational hockey goalie, known to his friends for his grit, loyalty, and great sense of humor. Fritz isn't one to ask for help, so I'm asking for him. Every dollar raised will go towards car repairs, medical treatment, and keeping him mobile, working, and stable as he navigates upcoming medical treatment. If you can donate, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. If not, sharing this with others would mean the world. So he raised $1,600. As I was looking into him, I was learning his nickname and like how he goes by Fritz. I'm trying to think how I came to his band, but somehow I was able to whatever. I'm just like over there sleuthing, trying to take any little sign or not sign, any little clue, to try to find more about him. And it led to this band that he used to be in. It's interesting though, because that's where he does his Facebook, is through the band's name. And guess who he has on his Facebook? Taylor Shabusiness. All right, let me show you. So his old band is called Strangulated Beat-Offs. I don't know. I don't make this stuff. I just report it. I don't. So somehow it came to this, and like I said, I forget how I linked it, but whatever my little sleuthing led me to his band, which I listened to some of his music. It's on there. I was debating, should I play something? It's not on here. It might be on here too, but I found a site. That's how I got to the Facebook, is from the site. So from the site, it had a link to the Facebook, but I forget how I came to the site to learn that he was a musician. I don't know. He was in a few different bands growing up. One of them was this. And if you go to his photos, look who he's got. Oh, and then he has her thing. Went off and told an addict, "I'll never stop buying you dope so I could sit back and watch you die." That was one of the things she posted on her Facebook. This is Taylor Shabusiness. So what does this tell me? He's a true crime fan, probably watching some of these women that commit murders. Probably how he got to Shanda. And then somehow maybe he wrote Shanda and they started talking. I don't know. But then, I mean, she's trying to marry this guy. I don't know if they ended up getting married, but what else? Look. So, I mean, he's got true crime stuff. So he probably watched her case and somehow was attracted to her, I guess. I don't know. He did lose some weight though, because look, this is from 2017, and the GoFundMe is more current because it says, yeah, July 3rd, 2025. And this was from, shoot, 8 years ago. Look how heavy he was. So he lost some weight. This is him and his band. Let me get you the other page I was looking at. Here's the page that I first came to with his band, and then it linked to his Facebook. But you could listen to some of the music on his other bands. Not my style, but you'll see like he plays drums. This one he plays drums and guitar, but it looks like he's mainly a drum player. But yeah, like I said, I'm 95% this is the right guy. There's only one Frederick Noble that I could find that even links to St. Charles, and it's him. And he has it from Shanda's documents, St. Charles, Missouri. But I don't know. He seems like did he ever visit her? I can't see him. I mean, it seems like he's having a hard luck, but maybe in the last year, because that was the dialysis. That was just this year, a couple months ago. So maybe last year, because that was last year, July of
last year, 2024, is when they're trying to get married. So, I mean, maybe health wise, took a turn, you know what I'm saying? He went through a rough year where now they say dialysis he's gonna have to go through. So I don't know, maybe they didn't even end up getting married. But I just thought it was interesting that they try. I mean, she was dating that girl, and now she's not even long after that, because by May, she's already trying to get married to this guy. That was when her girlfriend reached out to me, remember? And gave me that phone call with them. So she had recorded a phone call because she just reached out to Shauna. Supposedly, this is by her, just paraphrasing from what I remember our conversations. She reached out to Shauna just wanting to befriend her, and then they ended up falling in love or whatever. And Shauna's never dated a woman, but somehow ended up falling in love with this girl over the phone. So the girl would always record her call. And I guess Shonda knew she was recording it, I guess. Yeah, because she knew she was recording that phone call. So she said, or maybe she knew after. Maybe she recorded, then after said, "Hey, I recorded you." Because she was so nervous because Paul and Shonda were getting word that the stuff I was putting out, like Ashley was telling Shonda and baby girl was telling Paul. So they knew of my channel and they knew I was putting out their jail calls and stuff. So she didn't feel comfortable giving me that call unless she told Shonda she was going to give me that call and got permission. So she got permission from Shonda. Now, these aren't the jail calls that I actually ordered. It was one call. And I was very specific when I released that call. It was just one call where she recorded. It was when she was in prison. So I couldn't get those calls. So it was after she was out of Muskegon and went to prison where those cars aren't available. She gave me that call. But the other ones that I released in Muskegon, those are all ones that I got from the jail. Anyway, so she wanted to get her reaction when she told Shonda about Paul having a fiance and stuff. So we got to hear Shonda's reaction when she told Shonda about Paul and baby girl or whatever. I'm trying to think, what else did she say? I'm gonna have to go back and re-listen to that. But that was at like probably February, March.
Okay, so here is my video that I uploaded with that phone call I was talking about with Shonda and her girlfriend. And you could see I was actually a little bit off on that. It actually was later. This was the end of April. So this live was April 24th. Now, the phone call obviously took place before that, but as of April 24th, Shonda and this girl were still together. And I went back through my texts with this girl, and up until May, so the end of May, it sounds like she was still talking to Shonda from my text messages with her that was dating Shonda. So that means Shonda was freaking wanting to marry some other guy, and she was still talking to this girl. This girl thought that they were together. I want to put this into perspective. So this is from the records that I got, right? Right here. 5/16/2024 is when she requests her emergency contact to change from her friend Ashley to Frederick Noble. Please change my emergency contact to Frederick Noble. Thanks, Shonda. Records kite. 5/16/2024. Okay. So we saw that video where I play her girlfriend talking to Shonda, which her girlfriend reached out, like I said, and sent that to me and said I could play it. They were still together April 24th, 2024. Okay. And then, like I said, going back through my texts from the text messages, they were still talking the end of May. So I think that confirms that she was still talking to her girlfriend as she's freaking getting engaged to a guy. And I really don't think her girlfriend knew about this because from the text messages, she would have told me, I feel like back then. So how did she fall in love with some guy as she's with some girl? It's crazy. I guess it doesn't surprise me. Why am I acting surprised? But I just wanted to show you some dates and stuff. So that was 5/16. She asked it to be changed, right? July 10th says, in response to your kite to the record office, the record office does not make copies of the file documents at prisoner request. We are not able to provide you with copies of your birth certificate. If you have further questions regarding the marriage process, I recommend communicating with the WHV chaplain via kite. The chaplain may be able to advise you further. Thank you. So in July 10th, she's already trying to figure out how to get married to him, right? May 16th, she changes her point of contact to this Frederick. So you're not gonna convince me that, they didn't have something going on back in May. And as you could see right here, Frederick Noble, in case of serious illness or injury, and that's for because she asked, May 16th. So by May 20th, it's changed to Frederick to show you she was I wonder if I could get a hold of her ex-girlfriend and see if she had any idea that she was basically gonna marry this other guy and was seeing him in May when she was still talking to her girlfriend. I don't think her girlfriend knew because I think her girlfriend would have told me that. And from our text messages, it looks like me and her ex was talking up until June about Shanda. It was all related to Shanda because I was reporting on the case. So she was giving me some information to report on. That's how with baby girl too. Everybody was getting mad, like, "Oh, you're being friends with them." No, I'm not. I'm a reporter and I'm getting information for you guys, and you guys want to know information. And then when I stopped talking to them, I cut them off. "Oh, can you get us information?" It's like, well, you guys were giving me crap because I was getting information from them, which you have to be able to talk to the person to get information. You have to be nice to the people. You can't be a jerk or they're not going to give you information. It's like, it's hard to be a reporter in this community. I tell you that much because it's like people want you to somehow magically be able to get the information, but still not talk to the people and still be a jerk to them. It does not work that way. So us reporters, we get so much crap when we try to talk to these people to get information. It's crazy. It is so crazy. I don't think you guys understand how weird it is when they want you to get information, but nope. Once you do, you're the bad guy. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go there. But this case was crazy because I was getting information from Shonda's girlfriend and then also Paul's girlfriend because I was reporting on this case. So I was getting some good information and everybody wanted it, but somehow turned it around like I was this bad person because I was talking to them. Yeah, I wanted to get the information. But anyway, so yeah, I was talking to her up until June. And I think she was still talking to Shonda up until June, but for sure they were talking as girlfriend and girlfriend in May. June, the text messages are more vague as far as if they were still together, but it sounds like they were still talking, yeah, but May for sure. So, I wonder if I should reach out to her and let her know what I found out and see, what was Shonda telling her back in May? Did she mention anything about a Frederick that she was gonna marry? Anyway, let's move on to Paul now.
Anyway, so this is Paul now. So Paul has a notice of package mail rejection, January 8th, 2025, block 7, cell room 107L. He has a package rejection. So just this past January, prisoners received one book. It's a testament of Sister New Devil 2. The photos are of people engaged in sexual activity. While the photograph does not display the genitals or the actual sexual act, it does not disguise the content, which is depicting actual or simulated sexual acts by one or more persons. From Amazon Fulfillment Center. And it says prisoner statement. So Paul says, probably send it back to publisher. It's probably one of those things of what do you want us to do with it? Like they said with Sean, do you want me to destroy it, send it back, do this? So I'm guessing you probably send it back to publisher. Hearing officer findings include reasons for findings. 13, photographs depicting sex acts. Number 13, photographs, including drawings and images depicting actual or simulated sexual acts by one or more persons. This includes photographs and publications sent directly from the publisher or a vendor authorized by the facility. PP. Okay, prisoners are prohibited from receiving mail that may pose a threat to the security, good order, or discipline of the facility, may facilitate or encourage criminal activity, or may interfere with the rehabilitation of the prisoner. Review of the package has been verified and does meet the above criteria. Notice of package mail rejection is upheld. And it says prisoner has elected to return to sender. So I wonder, did he order it? No, somebody had to have ordered it for him because it came directly from the Amazon. So somebody ordered it for him. Because I wonder, like, sometimes you hear, like, how strict can you have something sent there from Amazon? I didn't even think you could do that. You're allowed to do that? I thought there were certain sites that you could use to send prisoner stuff, but maybe Amazon, they do use Amazon. I don't know. Anyway, here's on 12/17/2023. So this would have been inmate involved. Paul. Incident description. At approximately 4:22 a.m., Blank can be seen on camera in Pod H taking Ferguson's peanut butter and bread. I think I remember. Wasn't there something about on the phone call where he was talking about this, that this happened? I feel like. So wait. So somebody took Paul's peanut butter and bread. Oh, how does it feel? That's crazy because look what he used to do to Timothy. Take all his food, not let him have any food, probably pick on him. We heard he was a big bully to his siblings, to his brother Timothy, a big bully. So now people are taking his peanut butter and bread. Okay, hold on. It's appropriate, I feel like. Okay. After reading a kite from Ferguson, I reviewed the camera footage to confirm the kite I received. Interview none, injuries none, assisted by Deputy Durga. Disposition. I'm requesting 3-day administrative segregation with no tablet starting at 12/18/23 and ending 12/21/23. No tablet, but he's getting punished or the other guy? They're not punishing him for somebody take this peanut butter, are they? That'd be kind of funny if they did. Because I mean, what he did to Timothy, what him and Shauna both, it's sick. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it has to be the other guy that they're doing that to, because I don't see them why they would punish Paul for that, but I mean, maybe they just I don't know, but segregation and tablet taken away. Okay. Now this is 10/25/23. So this is even a couple months before that. So I'm just going backwards. Okay. Medical conditions. Paul. So medical conditions at 4 a.m. Inmate Ferguson activated the main pod door intercom and T-pod and stated that he blanked last night while walking down the stairs. This has to be, remember when he like hurt his ankle or something? Remember he was talking on the phone about it? It's got to be this. Let's see. So he did something walking down the stairs. Last night before lockdown, I did observe blank, but he did not complain at that time or any time throughout the night. So let's see. Last night before lockdown, I did observe him blank, but he didn't complain that time or any time throughout the night. But then he's complaining at 4 a.m. He must have been woke up in pain or something. Anyway, and the medications unknown to me. Actions taken is redacted. So he probably wanted some pain medicine. I mean, he probably got something to help with the pain, I'm guessing. I don't know. Okay. So this is June 12th, 2025, just a couple months ago. It says, and he was, whoa, he was placed in protective housing last year, May 2024. But I mean, this report is showing June 12th, 2025. So he's probably still in protective housing. Let's see, nature of behavior or circumstances that led to placement into protective housing. So why did he get put in protective housing like last May? I mean, in 2024, it says demonstrates an inability to be managed safely in a general population setting. Circumstances prior protection requests. Behavior warrants continued secured housing. Staff evaluation warrants secured housing. Must maintain a good attitude and demeanor, abide by unit and facility rules, maintain a clean cell, good personal hygiene, and participate in unit programs. Prisoner participated in a personal interview. Yes. So the interview and determination of placement. Prisoner's comments, stay in 7 block. So I guess his comment is he wants to stay, I guess, stay in the protective housing, right? You know, he feels nice, safe, and cozy. He's probably scared. Well, that sucks because, oh, well, you're in prison. Look what you freaking did to Timothy. He shouldn't be able to be. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. So he's going to continue being in protective housing. He file reviewed, continued secured housing. Just almost doesn't seem fair because, I mean, look what Timothy went through for how, for like 6 months of poor, like, and that's just after Adam died. I'm sure he was not treated that good before that. It just maybe was not as bad, but it was still bad, I'm sure. And then even at his dad's, like there was reading some of the teachers' comments and stuff, even when he was at his dad's, this still was not his whole life. They said he was like a bully over there. So Paul was treating him bad, I think, his whole life. So I just feel like, I mean, why are they letting him stay? Are they really concerned that something's going to happen to him? But I mean, he should have to kind of be a little bit afraid sometimes, right? Ooh, we have his initial request of why he's being requested. Here we go. 5/10/24, because that's when he initially went into protective custody. So reason protection is being requested. So this is see where it's going backwards. I always should scroll down and go from bottom to top, but it's not always that way. Here we go. This is the reason. Reason protection is being requested. Prisoner Ferguson is requesting protective custody. He states that my case is not only high profile, but it made national news, meaning everyone who's anyone knows about it. Prisoner Ferguson is serving a 30-year to 100-year sentence for a particular heinous crime and is in fear for his safety because of it. Oh my lord. He thinks just like him and baby girl thought they'd get like $1 million for their story, remember? Or their pictures, their wedding pictures. Oh, we'll get like, or maybe they said like a $500,000 we'll get for those. Prisoner Ferguson is requesting protective custody. He states that my case is not only high profile, but it made national news, meaning everyone who's anyone knows about it. Prisoner Ferguson is serving a 30 to 100-year sentence for a particularly heinous crime and is in fear for his safety because of it. That's funny though that he thinks it's just so much bigger than he is. Half the people don't know. Not everybody who's anybody knows about it. I could ask my mom. I could probably ask 10 people that aren't in true crime like I am, and they have no idea who he is. We all know because a lot of people that follow true crime, but it seems like a lot more people know than do. So in his head, because I was releasing those calls and we were all talking about him. It just seems like there's way more. But think about how many people are in the world, and like in reality, this case was not that big at all in reality of even in the true crime world. So it's just funny that he thinks like Idaho, that's a big one. A lot of people, I mean, but still, a lot of people wouldn't even know that. If I asked my brother, he would have no idea who any of the Idaho forward victims are. So, I mean, even that, but that's a bigger one than this. What's another big one like that more people know about? Gabby Petito, that was a real big one. But still, I don't even know if I could find people that don't know who that is too. So, anyway, and of course, in prison, a lot of people are gonna know who you are because, I mean, it's a small world really in prison. So, like, a lot of people know when people are coming in for murder. I mean, a lot of people will know who are coming in. And yeah, maybe you were one of the big ones at that time when it was going on because your trial was happening and, law and crime. I think did they cover the trial? Because I know I was watching it I feel like I watched a lot of it on the local channel, but I think they covered it too when the trial was on. So yeah, I mean, there's people in prison that you did a horrible thing, and I mean, so the people in prison are gonna know of you, yeah, and what you did, and it was a minor, it was a kid that So anyway, all right. So investigation information. Prior protection requests and placements, including protective segregation. First request. Additional information, Ferguson rode into ECF from RGC on 5/5/24 and is refusing general population housing. Wow, he's refusing it. So where was he going? ECF from RGC. Oh, so it was after that was right after remember he was in the in between, because I remember because baby girl was going nuts because she couldn't talk to him barely at first for a while. Remember, she was waiting to hear from him in the in between spot where what do they call it? So there's a spot you go in when you're waiting to go to your main prison after you're in county, and then you go I forget what they call that. So, and you don't get as many, like, he didn't get as many phone calls. And for the first couple of months, he didn't, I don't even, she couldn't hear from him because he didn't get any. And then he didn't get like that regular, and she was going nuts. He was there for a while. So that's what they're talking about. So from the minute he got into his main prison, he was refusing general population because that would have been about the time that he actually got transferred from the probationary period. What is that called? Reception. Yes. Is that what they call it? I feel like there's another term they used when they were talking about it besides reception. When you look it up, but reception basically, there's an in between spot they go until they get all like classified and get everything situated before they get off to where they're staying. So yeah, he refused it from when he got to that prison. That's crazy. I did not know this. That's kind of interesting. That would have been that. Wow. Huh. So it says, so he's refusing general population. And then it says, uh, Ferguson will remain in temporary segregation for his safety until interviewed. And it looks like he's still there because we saw that stamp in July up to July 2025. He was still there. So, I mean, the last couple months, I don't know, unless it's the last couple of months, I'm pretty sure he's probably still there. It looks like every month they're basically just copy and pasting. They feel the same way. He's probably complaining. He wants to stay there. He's scared. So they just keep letting him stay. But I mean, eventually he's going to have to go to general population. I mean, it's only time, but it really actually only has been over a year. I mean, it'll be 2 years this February. It'll be like he's been in, well, 2 years since his sentence. He didn't get to the actual prison that he's at now until May of 2024. But yeah, they might let him for a couple years. But anyway, okay. Forward to deputy warden for SCC review when above is completed. See review determined that the long-term protection is warranted. So they're saying they include rationale for decision if transfer to general population at another facility is recommended. So hey, do you recommend maybe going to and taking them to another facility? Include why it's believed protection needs cannot be met at a current facility. It says so SCC review and determine that long-term protection is warranted. Intake 3/8/24, 3 months. I don't know. That's 3 months. Anyway, it says include who made the request and the circumstances or claims relating to the request. Attach extra pages if necessary. Prisoner Ferguson arrived at RGC from Muskegon County. Due to the national news coverage and nature of his crime, he will be placed in SMHU pending SCC review for his safety. Prior protection requests and placements, including in protective segregation. SCC review. So saying the same thing. Remain SMHU pending transfer. Okay. So, well, same thing. Here we go. We got another one. The whole thing about placed and protective. He's saying the same thing over and over that he needs it. They don't think he could be managed safely in a general population. Oh, same thing, September 26th, same thing, stay as our back, yep, same thing. Oh, we get one of these again, from December 16th. All they do is send them the same thing and just put a different date on it. Because this date's the same, but they stamp it with a different date, I guess, just to kind of keep them, no, just keep them in from month after month or whatever, year after year. I think they go every 6 months or whatever, but it's like, they just copy and paste the same thing. Oh, it's the same way, or just keep the same thing. Okay. Oh, prisoner's comments the same. Well, you're telling me you don't interview him every time? Like, why would you just copy and paste what he says? Wouldn't you interview him again and be like, how do you feel? Are you still feeling the same? I'm sure every time he's not going to say, I guess he could just say, stay and say, yep, so I want to stay. Up, I want to stay. You should get a little bit more feedback on what's going on. Come on. We want some information. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Now we're at March 2025. Demonstrates an inability to be managed safely in general population settings. Circumstances, prior protection request, behavior warrants continued secure housing. Saying the same exact thing as the last one. Okay, same thing.
And you could see, look, June of this year, he's still in the protective custody or protective housing. And so, yeah, looks like he's going to be there for a while. I mean, eventually they'll move him, but I'm sure he's still there right now. So that's all I got for you guys. If you guys find out any more information about Shanda and getting married to good old Frederick, let me know and have a good one. Bye.